As of today, Australia is rolling out the new laws when it comes to vaping. So nicotine vapes will only be available to adults without a prescription at pharmacies as these laws take effect. But it might not be the case here in WA for much longer, with plans being announced by the state's health minister, Amber-Jade Sanderson. Brian Walker is the Legalise Cannabis WA MLC, and he thinks that the new laws are aggressive. Brian, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ollie.
What don't you like about them, Brian?
Well, they're driving people back into taking tobacco, which is a really silly idea. The whole vaping laws are based on a lie, so they should be actually all reversed. They've allowed the illegal and horrible vapes from China to be coming in through the black market. They're only getting 5% of them, and I'm seeing kids of 8-year-old taking vapes in the school, and they can't stop them. But the healthy vaping shops with only 3, I think, ingredients, and they're all safe for the lungs, and it's actually just 1% of the risk of tobacco, and getting off tobacco very much more successful. And that's been banned. Family businesses have been banned, and people are having to go to the doctor to get actually what is a script for a really unpleasant tasting nicotine. And are people going to do that? They're cheaper. They're far better off going to the tobacco shop and buying cigarettes. And this is what's actually happening. Anecdotally, this is what's happening. We're driving people back into smoking, and I'm a rabid anti-smoker. So
you think this is an unintended consequence, Brian, that more restrictions on vaping will mean more tobacco use?
I think it's not the unintended consequence, it's the consequence. I mean, if you have a demand there and you make it difficult to meet the nicotine demand, of course they're going to go back to tobacco, and we told them that in Parliament quite clearly.
For children, though, these flavours, these attractive-looking vapes, did they need to do something? Because, well, yes, and we hear those stories all the time, Brian, as you do, that a lot of people say it's really helped them quit tobacco use or smoking fully-fledged cigarettes. It's become a bit of an on-ramp for younger people, Brian. Did they need to act in that regard?
No, they did not, because the vape shops were very clear, not letting children under 18 get into the shops, just like alcohol from bars. But they've banned those places, and now they're walking into shops or having friends walk into shops and buying them under the table. So the kids are being exposed to these far greater extent than they were before the vape shops were closed. The whole thing is actually a crime against humanity. We tabled a paper, 1,400 pages of research from the UK and from Europe, which showed that on average, if we kept the vape shops as they are, we would save 200 West Australian lives every year. And the government knew this. They were told, they have the paper, they could read that, if they can read it. When they decided, no, we're going to sacrifice 200 of our lives a year, and I don't actually know why. Someone somewhere is getting a benefit from this, but it's not the patients of WA, it's not the people of WA. Someone somewhere is benefiting.
Well, I don't reckon too many pharmacies would be too keen on this anyway, with everything else that they have to do. But just picking up on one point there, who or what's the crime against humanity, Brian?
Well, they're making people return to tobacco, and it killed both my parents, and I don't want to see other people suffering the same fate. It's inhumane.
And WA wants to go a step further. Plans announced by the Health Minister, Amber-Jade Sanderson, only the week before last. Do you think that these are going to be even more restrictive and perhaps even lead more people back towards tobacco?
Well, I think so, because the laws here are definitely retrograde. But Amber-Jade Sanderson is the one person who swore to me and the Parliament and the people of Western Australia that the cannabis users who are using vapes to access the properly prescribed cannabis would not be affected by these laws, and that has been completely shown to be a lie. So she told the untruth to me and to Parliament by saying that the vapes would not be affecting the cannabis users.
Do we need a vaping education program to accompany all these changes, Brian?
Yes, we do. In fact, we're putting forward our proposals that we are going to fund that from the benefits we get from legalising cannabis, $1.25 billion over the 4-year forward estimates, and one part of that would be going to educating people about vapes.
Brian Walker, I appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you.
Legalise Cannabis WA MLC. That's Brian Walker. As from today, nicotine vapes will be available for adults without a prescription at pharmacies as those new national vaping laws take effect. But here in WA, it might not be the case for a very long time. They could change quickly.